Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. The stars are out.
Madness here, isn't it?
It's been gone.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know what AJ was doing having a sip of Conor McGregor's Irish Stout, but that was wild. I'm going to invoice Conor double for that one.
Why did he get out the ring?
I just think it's a mixture of frustration, bit of relief. People were booing him after 2 or 3 rounds, do you know what I mean? And I'll always back him, but when you get a late replacement opponent, when you've been training for Dillian Whyte for 6 weeks, and all of a sudden this 6'9" awkward geezer comes in who can punch with the backhand, you're not going to dive all over him in the first or second round with what's at stake. So he needed to
know that going into this.
Of course, I said it would be tentative for the first couple of rounds. It was probably tentative for 1 or 2 too many rounds, but you saw what you saw. If you didn't see that, and he didn't knock him out and he went 12 rounds, understand. But understand that there's a lot on the line. He's getting his measuring stick, he's trying to set up the right hand, he sets it up, he gives you one of the knockouts of the year. Job done, we move on.
At any point, did you think that was going the distance?
What?
At any point, given how sort of, at times it was cagey.
Because if he doesn't go through the gears, then, the last couple of rounds he started to go through the gears a little bit more. But it's a good fighter, Helenius. He's just coming off a full camp, he's just coming off a 3rd round stoppage. You can't, when there's so much on the line, I'm sorry, this is about AJ now. He's going to fight how he needs to fight to get the job done. He's given everybody so much entertainment over the years. He's just not going to go in with his chin in the air and start swinging away. He's going to break you down, he's going to box smart, he's going to wait for the openings, and then he's going to execute the game plan, which was set your feet, move him in the right direction, and hit him with the right hand and knock him out. And that's what he done. So probably 1 or 2 rounds too many, maybe, but again, knockout of the year.
Talk us through that knockout. Lights out straight away. Thank God Helenius is okay, because there was a few worrying moments there.
You could see he was trying to get the oxygen off. He was okay, but the board, again, as they do, done a fantastic job. Made sure they gave him a chance to recover. And listen, Helenius is a warrior. He took the fight, and I wanted someone who was fit. I didn't want someone who took a fight at a week's notice. He'd just come out of training camp, won last weekend, and he's a good fighter. But, that was a big knockout.
Saudi delegates and representatives have been in town. We know that they represent Derek Chisora anyway. He never speaks too much now, because people are always on his case. But does it have to be Wilder next? Is it Deontay Wilder next?
It's Wilder next if they want to make the fight.
You think they do?
Yeah, of course. They've made that clear. They want the fight in January. We've still got to talk over the next couple of days. But we're ready. It's one of the biggest fights of the modern heavyweight era. It's a fantastic fight. People will write off Josh, people will back Josh, whatever they're going to do. If he hits Deontay Wilder with that right hand, the fight is over. And Wilder will not get up like Helenius. But he's very, very dangerous. And it's definitely going to be a fight you're going to watch through your fingers.
Just quickly, on the undercard itself, Johnny Fisher with a great performance for that Southern Area title. Dempsey McKean stopped late against Filip Hrgovic. Derek Chisora in a bit of a strange fight. Could that be his last one?
I mean, look, I think it's disrespectful of me to start saying that should be his last one. Ultimately, Derek's a big boy. He's had a great career. I mean, for me, if you want me to be honest, I would be happy if he hung his gloves up. I think he's given so much to the sport. I don't think he can win big fights anymore, like the bigger fights. I don't want to see him lose anymore either, but it's down to him. It was obviously Skills challenging those guys, wanted to get him on tonight, and Washington was tricky. Good movement, and never really wanted to come and fight. But I thought Hrgovic looked good in bits and pieces. Difficult against Dempsey, who is a bit of an awkward southpaw. That's 2 southpaws back to back for Filip Hrgovic, and it looks like he's going to fight another awkward southpaw in Usyk if he comes through Dubois. But he is mandatory. He will fight for the world heavyweight title next. He's going to have to be a lot better to compete with Alexander Usyk. I thought Johnny Fisher was fantastic. I mean, that is how to be an exciting heavyweight. Let your hands go, back him up. First round was unbelievable. Massive credit, by the way, to Harry Armstrong. I mean, tough
as any.
And that was a really good performance from Johnny Fisher.
Edward, just quickly, Conor McGregor was in town. It was as crazy as Dublin. I'm not sugarcoating it. Always fun when he's around. Any interaction, any stories you can tell us from the few hours?
He was on good form. He was well behaved, and look, he's always a joy to bring to the events.
Why did he get involved?
He sponsored the event.
Why?
Because he has brands that he wants to get exposure for. That's why, Charlie, that's how business
I
works.
know that, but it was a bit random and.
Really? AJ is one of the biggest names in world boxing. It's a huge show. The brand wanted to sponsor it, as they did Katie Taylor. And they've also agreed a deal to sponsor the Katie Taylor rematch as well. So he'll be back with us November 29th in Dublin.
Just lastly, on that Deontay Wilder fight, AJ will never speak too much about it, but do you believe he wants that fight now?
100%. He wants all the big fights. Listen, that's why he chose Dillian Whyte, because he struggles to get up for Franklin and Helenius and those kind of fights. So once that Dillian Whyte fight fell through, it was just about getting through it. And that's what he done tonight, and I'm so pleased he delivered a knockout like that.
Finally, off the back of that prediction, AJ Wilder, if it happens, what's your...
I always believe he beats Deontay Wilder, and I think his style now is actually better. You know, that gun-ho style, going out with your chin in the air, trying to get the job done against Deontay Wilder, makes it a coin flip. You can outbox him, and if he sets up that right hand, and lands on a chin, the fight's over. But Wilder can punch like fuck, and if he lands, he can knock anyone out. It's just an unbelievable heavyweight fight. Let's see if we can get it made.
Get your 5Ks up for Birmingham.
Finally, you've said this, finally.
That's what we do. And you're still here, right?
I'll see you in Birmingham.
Get your 5Ks ready.
Eddie, can I have